Which is better, mono ice or mono wind? Now, obviously the ice team is going to have a little bit more synergy because Jingliu really likes Ranmei and Pela, and we're going to use Misha because if you have his E2, then the defense shred that he can apply paired that with his freezing on his ult actually does help you sustain a little bit and then also debuffs the enemies. So I never tried it before this, but using Misha in the 4th slot is actually not bad. And then as for the win team, we're going to use Blade, Bronya, and Huohuo, and then we're also going to throw in Black Swan just so we can finish the wind, and also she's going to be our defense shredder. So she's going to be on resolution, and then also we're going to use her skill to apply more defense shred. So she is a pretty good debuffer, especially against the second side, because the dots do help get our characters back when they imprison our characters. So Jingliu is going to be 49 over 246, so she does have a 0.4% chance to miss her crits. That's very, very important, because 0.4 is unironically higher than you might think. Is it? Well, she's also on attack orb just because my ice damage orb is so bad, so it is a slight damage loss, but I think the substats actually make up for it. Now, Ranmei is going to be able to hit her 180 break effect with the Watchmaker. I was kind of just too lazy to change it, but that could just be normal because this team doesn't need extra break effect. That's just the same Ranmei I was using for my Jouet. Pela, very nice to apply the further ice rest down. Now for Misha, I built him pure effect hit rate because I don't level his traces. So as you can see, I didn't level up either of those traces. He does get 60% effect hit rate during his ult, so if you do that, then you can actually build him for damage, but I didn't really care for his damage, so even though his damage is pretty good. Now his E2 is going to be able to apply the defense shred, and that is going to be a pretty good debuff, especially because it's 16% for 3 turns. So it's actually pretty damn good in my opinion. Now Blade is going to be slightly low crit rate. Wish it was a little higher. Just on a 2-piece. And he is on full HP with wind damage. So he will get just fully advanced by Bronya, and that's pretty much it. Now Black Swan's going to be on resolution. So not at the maximum effect hit rate that you'd like her to have, but her damage isn't too high in this run, so she's just purely a debuffer. And Bronya is going to be 162, and that's pretty much it. I guess we got Huohuo next, and Huohuo is just going to be on shared feeling, because that little bit of energy does help sometimes, maybe, who knows? Yeah. So let's get into the run, MOC 12, first side and second side, and let's see how both teams do. Since Misha's technique is a dimension, we'll just use Jingliu's and then finish off with Pela's extra 20% depth shred. And since Ranmei was on Von Whack, we'll get her ult up immediately, and then also apply Ice Res to the enemy that doesn't have the Ice Res. That way we can deal pretty similar damage between the two. Debuff them, and we'll just break right now so that way we can deal a little bit of extra damage when we focus on the middle enemy. And we also waited for Ranmei's ult just so we can get the damage boost on her real damage turns. Would have preferred if it died with that sliver so we didn't have to take the weaken, but it's fine. So now we have Misha's ult up for the next wave, so that way we can apply the freeze and then also the death shred. So we didn't freeze the left enemy, but it's fine. Now we'll apply the Ice Res down to Japard. Same idea as the first side, just to even out the damage a little bit. And now we'll just pop Misha's ult, and then since he doesn't have the trace that gives him the ton of effect hit rate, we can miss, but I did build him with some effect hit rate to make it work. So yeah, so we got the defense shred, and we got the freeze on both enemies. Nice, yeah, so that's 3 stacks of death shred. 40, 16, and 16. Pretty good. And then Jingliu obviously gains some from her. And then I do have Ranmei E1, so that's an extra 20. So that's 60, 82. I think we're at 100 actually. Yeah, we're over 100 Death Shred. Not that it matters over 100, but. And the one problem with freezing enemies so much is because when their actions get advanced forward 50%, you lose a bunch of debuffs on them. So we actually did have to re-put that ice res down on Japard. And now Ronmei can get her ult back perfect, and then we'll also freeze with Misha, so that way Japard doesn't get another turn as long as he does get frozen. Beautiful. And now, might as well just apply the ice res down to the left enemy because we have a ton of skill points to use. Put resolution back on Japard. And now, Jingliu, do your thing, Jingliu. One more. Finish it. Finish it. Yeah, so a ton of Death Shred. And the Ice Res even further, right? Now, come on, Jingliu. Finish it. Finish it, Jingliu. No. I don't want Misha to do it. No, I don't want Misha to get the honors of killing. Oh, no. Oh, well, I screwed up. I screwed up big time. Yeah, Misha did not deserve that, but... Ugh. Anyways, we're now on the second side. So the first side was a one cycle, given though the team was very good, right? Because Mono Ice, it's, you know, one of Jingliu's best teams. So now... we could actually just basic and then get the Death Shred from Black Swan first, but... doesn't make too much of a difference. Damage boost probably evens it out. Now we'll apply the Death Shred. Beautiful. We do want to try to break the enemy with the healing pretty fast so he doesn't heal. So it would be nice to get him pretty low, and since Blade has such high taunt, hopefully we can get hit and then get our ult. Oh, beautiful. So now we do get the follow-up and we get the ult. That way we can break him right before he heals. Now we have some skill points to use, so we might as well just put up the healing barrier, or healing thing. And we'll use Huohuo's ult just in case she gets hit. The attack buffs don't really matter too much in this game. Or in this team, because Blade doesn't scale too much off attack, and Black Swan, we're not really using her for damage either. And we don't even have any other way of building up Arcana, so... although the Wind Shear does, you know, increase it, which is nice. So he has over 9 stacks, which is going to be a little bit more damage. We will get the Death Shred off her talent. Now boost up Blade, and hopefully we can take this out before the next cycle begins. We'll hold off on the ult, and hopefully the Arcana can finish it. Nice. So at this point, I'm pretty sure actually Blade has lost his state, so we're going to have to use a skill point, so that's why we just basicked with Rania. And I do want to apply the Death Shred, so I did forego the healing on Huohuo because we should survive. Nice. And now we'll boost up Blade. Might as well pop Black Swan's ult just for a little bit of extra Arcana damage, even though it's not much. How did we miss crit 3 times on 83% crit rate? It boggles me. Crit rate boggles me. Anyways, now I guess we'll just build up a couple more stacks, and then might as well use Huohuo's ult just in case Huohuo gets hit, I guess. Doesn't really matter too much. I suppose, actually, I did that because I did want Bronya to not get imprisoned. I need to figure out what it's called when they cocoon the enemies. I don't know. Maybe it says it. I should just read the thing, actually. Oh, morbid dream. Oh, it puts him in a dream state. You learn something new every day. It is nice though, because Blade is destruction, we can constantly get rid of a stack, and then the dot also is going to help, and then obviously the MOC buff will hit it a couple times if you get lucky. Okay, 1% is interesting. So we don't have any skill points, so I might as well just basic to kill it with her 100% crit rate. Now 100% crit rate is nice, even though it's only 4,000 damage. Yeah, so I was checking to see if Bronya's light cone thing had refreshed. So that means we're going to get a skill point, which means that we can actually just skill now on Blade and still skill with Bronya. And we'll hold off on the ult so it gets buffed by Bronya, and that way the follow-up also gets buffed by Bronya. Perfect. And now we'll get a nice buffed ult follow-up and basic. Boom. Yeah, so I mean, unfortunately, this team is nowhere near the same amount of damage as the Jingliu team, but even though it's on element. Yeah, there are some ice weak enemies though on the other side, one each. Now we'll just even that out because Blade's going to pretty much get them back, right? I'm so tired. I have to go to work after this, and I did want to do a relatively good run here. Although this was my first try on this run, so maybe we actually could have done it a little bit better, but for the most part, I think this is good enough. Even though the first side was a 1 cycle, so I mean, we have 9 cycles to finish this side, but it would be nice to do it in 5. That way it is like a baseline for, you know, 5 and 5 on both sides. So hopefully this is the last cycle to finish it. This would put us at 24, so that's 5 cycles if we can finish it now. And we will get 2 more actions with Blade. We get all of our ults up, which is nice. Even though the Black Swan ult's not going to do much, might as well use it. Because his action isn't even in this cycle. And once again, I did have to check to see Bronya's light cone thing is active, so he will get a skill point there. So we did apply the defense shred from Black Swan, and now we can skill again with Blade, and then skill one more time with Bronya from her ult. So here we'll buff. Maybe we actually should have used Wolf's buff anyways, even though the 40% attack might not do much. It might get us just over the hump. Beautiful. We crit a couple times there. Yeah, if I use it now, I should have just used it before. So now if we can crit here. Okay, well we missed 1 crit, so now all this ult has to do is just crit. Even though it's only 1 instance of damage, so we quite literally have a 1 shot at a 84% chance. Just crit Blade. Blade crit. 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 Well, that was unfortunate. Well, I suppose those are the teams. Mono Ice, Mono Wind. Blade kind of screwed me at the end there, but at the end of the day, it should have worked, right? If you guys like the video, comment, and subscribe if you're not. I appreciate it very much. Might do, I don't know, maybe duo carry versus hyper carry. Somebody mentioned that, and that might be a cool video. So, thanks for watching once again. Adios.